All right, everyone, we've reached Thursday. We're now just 3 days away from kick-off, the big derby at Ibrox on Sunday. How are we all feeling? I'm certainly up for the game now. I was probably a bit like you and just kind of trundling through the week up until today. But you know you're really getting up for the game when you start imagining things happening during the match and certain Celtic players scoring and celebrating and that kind of thing. To be fair, it's mainly been Kyogo. 7 goals for Kyogo against that mob in 2023, and they seem to get better as they went on too. Obviously, breaking his duck in the fixture at Ibrox right at the start of 2023, as I say, went on to score a total of 7 goals that year against them, with his final 2 being absolute belt. I mean, poor Jack Butland has been picking out Celtic screamers this season, 3 of them. And as you may notice from that graphic, Kyogo has scored in each net at Ibrox, each net at Hampden, and each net at Celtic Park in this fixture. It's time to get the show on the road for 2024, I think. I don't know about you, but the more that I think about Sunday, the more confident I feel. Now, I must caveat the confident by putting a quietly in front of it. I would describe myself as being quietly confident. I think Celtic might surprise some people on Sunday. The big worries for me in this fixture are always like the crowd and how they kind of inspire Rangers. And Rangers really are quite a strong team at home. We've seen that in Europe in recent years. Not a lot of teams, bar ourselves, actually have a kind of good record at Ibrox. And a lot of it comes from those first 10, 15, 20 minutes when opposition teams quite often fall apart inside the noise and the the fire and all of that they throw at us. And yeah, I mean, earlier in the season in September, we kind of got away with that, I think. Obviously, we kept a clean sheet. We weathered the storm early on in the match, but it feels like we kind of got away with that in terms of them having, a couple of goals disallowed, and certainly the Dessers foul on Lager Bielka being marginal, let's just say. Yeah, I think we need to be better in the early stages of this match. I also think a key part is if we do start well, which we have done in previous derbies, see, Diaz and Maida scoring after about 3 minutes a year ago. I think it's really important that we don't offer them any encouragement in the match at any stage. I remember that game which we were, had scored early through Maida and were well on top in, and Joe Hart dithered at that stage, and I think Rangers hit the post from that, but the whole of Ibrox got a boost from that moment, and they ended up, going on to take the lead, and we only rescued a draw late on. Lager Bielka was another who dithered. Basically, the point I'm making is no dithering on Sunday Celtic. It has to be confident, assured football. And I think if we do that, our players should, come to the fore. I mean, we have real quality in that side. The likes of Hatate, Kyogo, O'Reilly, Kuhn, possibly McGregor as well. And that's just in an attacking sense. So I think if we do things well, and what I mean is like be solid and don't offer them any encouragement and be assured and believe in ourselves, which sounds incredibly cheesy and cringy, but yeah, believe in yourself, Celtic, and I firmly believe that our kind of superior quality will shine through. But you're always just worried about the kind of outside factors in this game as well. But yeah, I think generally I feel like Celtic are really going to be up for this. I think we've got a lot to prove, which is a weird thing to say about a team who have effectively won everything in Scotland for a number of years, and a manager who won everything here last time. But I think Brendan Rodgers has a lot to prove this Sunday, and I think a lot of our players will feel they have a lot to prove. There's no doubt that Rangers are the side who have been given the big billing from the media this season, and they're the ones who, despite coming out second best in their matches against us. They're the ones who have probably showed the better form, certainly in the last kind of 4 or 5 months. So I think there's a real opportunity for Celtic, with everything against them, just like it was in September, to just kind of shut up all the critics again. And I just get the feeling like there'll be that determination in there, real determination to do this on Sunday. And yeah, as I say, I would say I feel quietly confident that Celtic might surprise a few people. If you're looking possibly for some sort of an omen, and a very vague one, I will admit, remember when Jota ventured to the Brazen Head, the iconic Celtic bar in Glasgow before a derby last season? I think it was a cup semi actually, when he scored the winning goal just before half time. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And another player's been at it this week, and it's a player who's probably unlikely to start the match. Mike Nawrocki. Yeah. He's been in the Brazen Head too. There he is, enjoying himself, getting some photos, etc. Looking as calm as ever. And yeah, you know, just drawing some parallels there. Maybe Big Mike's going to start and score the winning goal. Wouldn't that just be lovely? Good on him for doing that. I spoke yesterday about the potential for some Celtic fan gatherings ahead of the match. Obviously, we're going to Ibrox without any away supporters in attendance, and there's always a kind of want and a desire from supporters to be able to, you know, just let the team know and show the team that we're still fully behind them, even though we're not going to have any supporters at Ibrox. North Curve Celtic have called on supporters to see off the team at Celtic Park on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Now, obviously, there was a totally normal reaction to this on respected social media website X. Loads of Rangers fans just piling on, going, "Oh, do you know the game's on Sunday? What are you doing that on Saturday? Are you walking to Ibrox?" Yeah, very good, William. Clearly, this is just the Green Brigade and other supporters wanting to, you know, wish the team well on their way to the hotel on Saturday night. I'm guessing a Saturday afternoon is probably a better time for people to come out and do something like this rather than Sunday morning, when they probably have other plans to do with the game. So I think it's very good. I'm sure there'll be something else happens on Sunday morning as well, as the team leave, you know, the hotel to head off to that ground. So I think this is all good, and I think we'll get some wonderful scenes, and it always just reinforces and reminds the team that we're there for them and we're fully behind them, even though we won't have anyone inside the stadium. And maybe for some of the new players, you know, like maybe Adam Ida, he's probably a bad example because he knows all about Celtic, but someone like Nicholas Kuhn, it's just a wee reminder of the magnitude of this fixture. Yeah, so I think this is really positive. Other Green Brigade news, they've responded to Livingston's unhappiness at the 3-stand tifo that took place at their ground on Sunday. They say that Celtic supporters went against their instructions. The response shared on the North Curve's X/Twitter feed, "Don't worry, be happy," alongside the tune that made its debut during Sunday's win. Elsewhere, in terms of Sunday, things are relatively quiet. It's been a quiet week, probably typified by the fact I'm about to talk about the Scottish Government's new Hate Crime and Public Order Scotland Act. Don't worry, I'm spending about 20 seconds on this. There's been a bit of stuff in the papers about this new Hate Act. It was introduced on Monday. As per The Guardian, it is intended to consolidate existing hate crime laws and also creates a new offence of threatening or abusive behaviour, which is intended to stir up hatred on the grounds of disability, religion, age, sexual orientation, transgender identity and variations in sex characteristics. The Daily Record's reporting that there have been no talks between Holyrood, that's the Scottish Government, and the SFA about this. Ali McCoy has already said this week that he would be one of the 48,000 Rangers fans breaking the new law, before saying that he wouldn't be at the game at all. bit strange. So that stuff's kind of going on in the background. The referee stuff has obviously kind of been ticked off at this stage, and we're just waiting to see how things go on Sunday before making any further comment. And now we're really just waiting on hearing from Brendan Rodgers, probably on Friday, I would think. I doubt it will be on Thursday. And really just wanting to know about the condition of Callum McGregor and whether he's going to play on Sunday. Whether Rodgers actually tells us that or not, I would guess he'd probably not say outright. And we'll probably have to wait until the team comes out on Sunday to see if McGregor's there, which I am pretty confident he will be. But if he's not, we've always got Tomoki Iwata there as well. Generally, as I say, feeling quite optimistic about things. I've seen a bit of chat about, this being a must-win for Celtic. I mean, for me, a must-win game is like, you have to win it. That's kind of what that means. I think if we get a draw, we'll move on and all that. I do think it's a really huge opportunity, and it's probably the opportunity for us to kind of lay a marker down. Probably, give them something to think about and really put the doubts into them, because we know, what they're like when they're under pressure in title races. Title races, apparently we've not had any of them in recent years, have we? No, we didn't have one 2 years ago when the league title was only decided in the second last match. Now, that wasn't a title race because Rangers didn't win it. Yeah, try not to get wound up by some things that are coming out in the media this week. I just think it's our moment to strike, and yeah, I think a win is achievable. And if we get a win, what a setup that would be for the rest of the season. So that's where I'm at. I think it's a real opportunity to win this game. I've not even thought about the draw, to be honest. If things play out and we end up with a point, we'll take it from there. But this is a game I want to see Celtic going and winning. Right, we're going to do our preview tomorrow. Stevie's going to join me for that. If you have any thoughts on the game, please put them in the comments section, and I'll bring some of them to Stevie's attention. He can be quite boring from time to time, so we sometimes need to spruce up these videos. What's making you feel good about Sunday, and what's troubling you a little bit? Let us know, and we'll cover that and much more on tomorrow's video. Have a good Thursday, everyone.